Empower?
Nah.
Extra
Yeah.
cleave?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to help Monkey King farm once he gets a couple items going.
I don't think I've seen a Monkey King get anything but like Phase Basher so far today.
Yeah, and I talked to Zai, and he said that that's actually kind of the Monkey King build right now.
Yeah.
Is just the phase into Basher.
Well, that's just because it's support though, right? Like if it was core, he'd still go Echo Saber, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. I just don't know if anyone's going to play it as core. Doesn't seem...
Yeah, I don't think they will.
I don't think the hero's that good right now.
Because of the nerfs or
Because of the nerfs, yeah.
Yeah.
He just seems a little underwhelming.
It's still effective roaming though, early game, right? Like that seems clear to me. Like his mobility is
For
really
sure.
high.
Yeah.
You can get vision.
Yeah, yeah.
You got a
No,
2
he's
second
definitely-
stun.
He
Yeah.
definitely can be good.
Yeah.
But he's not like... I don't think he's always like a first pick. He's not like...
Yeah.
I don't think he's that overpowered
Right.
or anything.
I mean, the games that we've seen, only a few admittedly, but the first 10 minutes, he looks very disruptive, very annoying,
Definitely annoying.
gives good vision. He seems to give a lot to the team in the early laning phase, but what else afterwards is kind of the question that we're asking.
Mm-hmm. His ult seems underwhelming when he
Yeah.
has no farm. He can turn into trees sometimes. That part's pretty cool. Did you know that when you turn into a courier, the towers don't attack you?
Do they not?
Yeah, they don't. That one's pretty cool. And you run at 350 movement speed, so you don't have. If you don't have boots, you're actually faster. If you happen to turn into a courier, that one's pretty cool. A little bit of RNG with that. Batrider ban. That one is, I guess, the Monkey King counter. I'm guessing, but I don't know if it's that important. I guess, and maybe they could force a good 1v1 matchup if they wanted to. Plus, I guess if you're pushing with Jug, Batrider's kind of dangerous, but it's probably likely I don't know if it's that important. I guess, and maybe they could force a good 1v1 matchup if they
We
wanted
saw
to.
the Cottle used twice.
Plus, I guess if
this
you're
morning.
pushing with Jug, Batrider's kind of
As
dangerous,
an
but it's probably likely I don't know if
LGD
it's
for
that
everyone
important.
pick
I
too.
guess,
Sure.
and maybe they could
Definitely
force a
still
good
an option.
1v1 matchup if they
we
wanted
saw
to.
the Cottle
It is
used
definitely good.
twice.
Plus, I guess
Yeah.
if you're
Morning.
pushing with
Monkey
Jug,
King,
Batrider's kind of
a lot
dangerous,
of
but it's probably
effective
likely I don't know
LGD
if
for
it's that
everyone
important.
pick
I guess,
Sure.
and maybe they could
Definitely
force a
still
good
an option.
1v1 matchup if they
we
wanted
saw
to.
the
It is-
Cottle
it is
used
definitely good.
twice.
Plus, I guess if
this
you're
morning.
pushing with
Monkey
Jug,
King,
Batrider's kind of
a lot
dangerous,
of
but it's probably.
that NFY will have played that. It's played throughout the qualifiers.
I like it as a Jug combo as well. It just makes your Jug even faster. Movement speed was actually a huge deal towards dodging RPs in some of the games we've seen Magnus so far today. As a Jug combo as well. It just makes your Jug even faster there.
Bounty Hunter to me is kind of like an underwhelming hero though in a lot of games, especially if there's not like a straightforward plan for what he's going to do in the early game. He may end up just kind of camping mid.
So what would you say is like the good plan for early game? Like snipe courier, harass the matchup that you have an advantage in.
If you can get the courier, that's the best. We saw MVP in the past when they're like relevant of them just like Febby and QO just kind of sitting mid, the husband and wife treatment. Bounty Hunter will die, pour back in, fill up the bottle, bring items, and just go at the mid over and over, and then your mid gets a huge advantage. That's that's something that you could do. You could focus on the off lane or your safe lane, but your enemy's off lane, and really kind of zone out the off laner. But
wasn't he just follow like Magnus then? Like
yeah, you can follow Magnus and stop him from jungling, or just like prevent him from really getting anything out of the map. But I think that if they're doing a Magnus kind of Monkey King dual lane, which seems likely, then he might not be the most effective hero.
Something to think about for Empire. They've gone with a Warlock for their third pick, but they're up against the Legion Commander.
Yeah. Warlock obviously a good laning hero. I think it looks pretty good for LFY right now. They have a lot of high armor heroes. I think they can trade with Monkey King well in lane. Warlock's obviously going to help, but the PA pick seems a little surprising to me. Empower, obviously. That's the big combo, I guess. Good against Jug, because most of the other single target physical heroes were banned out. The Troll and the Ursa would have been better, so they have to go for PA instead. But once like Legion gets a Blade Mail or something like that, PA is just going to kill himself.
So very interesting in different drafts from both teams. I also kind of like LFYs so far, just because the Bounty Hunter against this like big team fight ultimates makes some sense. Originally, like the Bounty was kind of random for me, but now that there's a Warlock and the Magnus as well, you can get some deep wards and really allow them to kind of control the pace of the game. Whereas I think Empire is really lacking a vision hero that will allow them to set up for kills throughout the game.
It's basically all in on like Monkey King and RP right now. I guess Warlock Golem helps, but Yeah, I guess that could be huge. I mean, if Empire gets vision and they initiate and they interrupt like Blink Daggers on Legion, then LFY has to run. They can't really take a fight for a couple seconds, which could be good.
Yeah, it's just kind of tough to really. Bounty Hunter is one of those heroes that you almost have to 5-man against and like push towers, because if you're trying to like split up and do these like 2 to 3-man ganks, odds are there's going to be some deep ward at some point in the map where it's going to either show, you kind of smoking up and making that gank start, or it's going to show the opposite side of the map and show that none of your teammates are there farming.
Final band's completed then. Let's find out what Empire are going to add to their lineup for a fifth. What do they need here, Kevin?
Mid hero, unless PA goes mid, in which case they would need a carry, but it's
more likely mid.
Just depends on the matchup, I guess. I mean, they could put Legion mid, they could put Jug mid. There's a lot of options for LGD. I feel like their draft is pretty protected here. So it's kind of a hard pick for them. Let's see what they're missing. Disable is really weak. They basically have like Warlock ult, Magnus RP, Dagger slow, so maybe some kind of other disable would be decent.
Puck?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Good
Anti-mobility.
Potentially, well, let's see who's playing. Potentially Storm Spirit, but
Okay. Is lockdown hero Axe.
Axe.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. I wonder if it's Axe or Magnus in the offlane. Could be Magnus. Strange.
Maybe they'd want to do Axe versus the Legion in a 1v1 or something. Is that too crazy?
Axe versus, yeah, that's right. No, yeah, definitely put Magnus mid. And then he's going to be up against Lina.
But it's, yeah, Legion offlane.
Chinese Dota Lina.
Chinese Dota indeed has been very popular in the qualifiers as well. We've seen it a few times already today. Final thoughts on the draft, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it for another probably 3 years to truly understand which one is better.
It's definitely different. We're seeing very different play styles from both teams, and definitely like different regions kind of clashing. I like the Chinese draft and kind of their strategy. Hopefully, I really hope Bounty Hunter really does focus on getting on those deep wards.
Okay, well, let's find out. We're heading over to our commentary team, OD Pixel and Gods, who will take you through Empire versus LFY.
Thank you very much, Paul. Indeed, LFY versus Empire. We've just seen the drafts. It's going to be hype. It's going to be exciting. We're seeing the CIS side Empire coming through with this kind of PA Magnus strat. They're throwing in a bit of the Monkey King. And LFY, as we saw, a little more kind of what we started to expect from the Chinese teams, especially with this Lina pick. This seems to be a hero that's really rising up through the ranks, Scott.
Yeah, it'll be super playing it in the mid lane as well, so it seems like the mid laner abusing that low respawn time with the level 10 talent, the Bloodstone, is something they really value, because it seems like the playstyle is adapting a lot more, where there's this focus on using these mid-game smokes and fighting a lot more. We're not really seeing split push, we're seeing just like, let's 5-man, let's brawl, let's have a very aggressive style of play. So we'll see if that's going to be the case with Super's Lina as well.
Yeah, and talking about aggressive style as well, I like this from Posture coming straight out on the Monkey King with Dust in hand. He is ready to hunt down that Bounty Hunter. Yes. And kind of vice versa, because I feel like the Bounty Hunter also picked as well very nice against the Monkey King. Once you get that track online, suddenly it becomes a lot harder for the Monkey King to juke you around and above the tree line.
Yeah, that's where the Monkey King has to kind of worry back. But until that level 6 is there, Monkey King, I'd say, with the slight edge of being able to, once he finds Bounty Hunter, chase him down and bully him a lot out of the lane. Not quite as good as like the traditional like Spirit Breaker type counters, but still very good indeed. You can see him here just bouncing around, seeing what scouting info can get. This is the power of the Monkey King. I think that's maybe one of the kind of underrated things is just like what a Bounty or Ricky gives in terms of just unlimited vision, scouting for free where you don't get seen. Monkey King can do that very effectively as well. He's currently looking for a courier, and it will be a nice little Bounty Hunter rune snipe. He steals it away from FN in the mid lane.
Yeah,
will the courier get caught? He's got tree mode.
Is he going to get away with this? That's the question.
He's going high ground.
He's going to go high ground for it. He knows it's going to be likely to be pitched. He's looking for it. They're not looking at him. Monkey King, boys and girls, hopping on his stick. He will take his life for it. But worth, I guess. I mean, you do end up giving 100 gold each to the members of LFY, so... Yeah, but you get the courier. Mid is now in trouble. Well, okay, he's certainly in trouble now with the Monkey King turning up into the mid lane. So you've lost your bottle. And the Monkey King's doing his best to make sure that Super, he's only gone and lost his life as well, but At the same
Meanwhile-
time, people dying left, right, and center. Gods, what's going on?
That was the actual first blood as well,
Yeah.
picked up at top lane. So LFY managed to find it on LPC's Rubik up top. Not exactly sure. It says 118 gold each, but I don't think everyone actually... Like, I clicked some heroes, and they definitely did not get 118
Well,
gold.
it sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's... I don't know how that's calculated, but it's not 118 gold each.
Just Valve maps.
Perhaps. I'm not sure how that number works there, but yeah. Not the case. So they trade kills a little bit. Will be slide edge, I'd say, going Empire's way, getting the kill in the mid lane. And also everyone getting that courier money. So the kill on Super, giving FN a slightly better time. And Monkey King is on the roam once again, lurking around this bottom lane, seeing what he can do there to the aggro Legion Commander. One of Jizing's best heroes, so we'll see if they can get some pressure on him.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Yep.
He's in a whole lot of trouble here with the Monkey coming in with the Primal Spring. They've got the slow. Jijing to perch off and move away. An extra dagger to slow him down. They're not actually going to be able to die for him. Jijing there with the heal, just enough to keep himself alive and get himself back to safety.
He was very patient with the heal. He waited until the Monkey King slow hit him before he used it, so he actually was able to purge off that slow. So really nicely played by the Legion there to just be as patient as possible, make sure he could get himself out of there, and doesn't give up a kill. So see if Monkey King can continue to make these moves. At some point you do want to start getting a level or two. You want to point in that stun early on especially. So finding that level 2 of Monkey King can go a long way, and that's something where if you're just exclusively roaming early on, as we've seen so far, you're not going to find that level 2 all too easily.
We see here as well, White pulling off the classic bounty play, just sapping the experience from Ghostic as he heads to the side camps here to pick up a bit of jungle farm. White just consistently keeping eyes on Ghostic's position. Safe laners, we can see at the moment for LFY, Jog at 13 for 9 and 10 for 4 on Chappie in return. So Monet having the slightly freer lane. And, well, White coming around. I mean, they do have LPC on the Rubik as well, but it is an Axe. He's fairly tanky. And, in fact, did spot White by the looks of it, going under the cover of the Invis. So, backs off and it plays very, very careful as he knows that there's every chance that LFY could look to put a bit of abuse down on it.
It's still a level 1 axe, and that's something Ghostic has to be concerned about. The fact he's not finding levels, not finding much farm. And all it's going to take is one lip, perhaps even a Janata strike to initiate, and they could find a kill very easily. Jog, one of the better heroes to chase you down with, and even if you take damage in the process, you've got that healing ward to heal you up. They see him going in the shop.
Yeah, this is risky.
Probably dead here.
Yeah, they're bringing an LPC from the sidelines with the Blade Fury. Chase down. There will be a Monkey King coming back in return, trying to help turn the Fate Bolt, bringing down Ghostic low. Not quite enough to kill him. Monet will continue to chase. At the end of the day, Ghostic regenerating up through the tango. He's going to try and juke them out, but he's been cornered here by LPC, and with one more hit from the back from the bounty, LFY will get away with the kill at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think with the Orb of Venom on him, he couldn't actually go for the salve there. If he managed to get into the trees, pop a salve, he could have turned it around or even TP'd out, but wasn't able to do so. Bottom lane, meanwhile, a lot of damage coming out from the dual lane onto Jizing, but not going to be able to get a kill. But they have already forced the Shrine out, so there isn't really good sustain for the Legion Commander, who may have to head back to base to Shrine up, heal up, and go from there.
I've got the Monkey King heading down towards potentially looking for the 4-minute rune. It's not going to be top. Jumps up, looking to cut Super off, but he has to be careful. Super's got friends coming in. The Light Strike Array will be duked out. White trying to close the gap to get the slow onto him. And in fact, well, with Miposhka turning around for the fraction of the second, that's going to cost him his life. His LFY will take down the Monkey.
Couldn't run forever, didn't have boots, so it was always going to be outchased by the bounty as well as the Lina there. And a nice kill for LFY, who find themselves up 4 kills to 1. Had a pretty stable laning stage. The Legion getting at least decent XP and some farm here and there. Doing as well, if not slightly better, than the Axe in the off lane. So it does feel like it is LFY doing slightly better from the laning stage, despite the Monkey King's aggression all over the map.
Yeah, in terms of the movements of Monkey, he's going to come down, puts a sentry. White.
He's so White, so they're going to be well aware of his position.
And he's got the dust, and he's just managed to get him in range here. White in a lot of trouble. Super is going to come across, see if he can potentially help. Light Strike Array will be dodged. There's the Skewer 4, gets the slot 2. In fact, White able to get away from this, it seems. The Shockwave will be enough, though. IFN will find the kill.
Misses another stun, unfortunately. Otherwise, may have found the Magnus there. But also didn't have mana for a follow-up nuke. And they'll Shrine up and get back to lane, so just a Bounty Hunter loss, but there was definitely potential for a turnaround. Speaking of losses, bottom lane, Chappie goes aggressive, gets a solo kill onto the Legion.
It could cost his life, though. White there with the cut around and the Shuriken. Takes down Chappie in return.
That's so good for a bounty to get like a solo kill like that. It gets him almost to level 4, gets him more than halfway to his arcane boots. Yeah, the Legion's like, man, I gave up a solo kill, but bounty is thrilled. He gets close to arcane boots as well as a ton of XP out of that solo kill for himself. So not really worth it for the PA, and definitely pretty good for LFY.
Well, it's up LPC. He did come around and find Ghostic pretty low. Started to play around with him, but Ghostic had the Shrine at his availability. So he'll be A-okay. Runes being checked for. It's going to be spawning top Super. Able to grab his hold of one, fill up his bottle.
Super's managed to kind of hold his own mid after getting the first spotted by the Monkey King. He is behind FN on Magnus, but that's because FN's gone fairly greedy with his build. Has even fallen back into the jungle at various times. So we're seeing Magnus farm not just mid lane, but also the jungle. And with that early kill to his name, be slightly ahead of the Lina.
A little bit of an awkward play there from Empire. They scanned themselves down on the bottom lane, and they dusted because something was in the region of the scan, but it was actually the Legion standing right in front of them. So they thought someone was there, and there was, but it wasn't the bounty that they were searching for as they threw the dust out.
Yeah.
As it was, just the Legion standing on the very edge of it. I guess sometimes can look a little deceiving, the area on the map and where the heroes actually are.
Yeah, we'll see what Empire's next moves are going to be. They've got a PA with Phase, Blightstone. Theoretically, we could see PA rotations start to happen, or at least fighting around the strength of Chappie. He's not got a ton of items, but it's the kind of items where a rotation from a PA, you've got great chase potential with the Dagger Slow as well as the Blink Strike, so be careful about getting too aggressive around the towers at this stage. But I imagine more than anything, with FN not getting any points in RP, he's gone full on the farming build. Treads, Iron Talon, Max Shockwave, couple points in Empower. Seems like Empire are more intent on playing the efficiency jungle farm game for now.
And meanwhile, LFY, they're intent on playing the push game. Super's moved up towards the top with Monet and LPC, and also a White in position just to scout out what kind of reaction Empire bring in. They'll look to take down this tier 1. Bounty, of course, knowing that the Monkey's in the tree line, but also knows there's no one else behind him.
It's pretty early tier 1 claim and no resistance whatsoever, and no even counter push. One of the downsides of the PA pick, definitely, that you don't have the ability to pressure towers. Your opponents go for that early tier 1. Well, you can't exactly do the same as a PA. They don't really have any of their big teamfight presence yet without the Warlock having level 6. They do now have RP, but PA just not a hero who can clear waves quickly or pressure towers early on.
Ghostic back up towards the top half of the camps in the jungles. White still with eyes around it, looking to pick up XP, get himself that level 6 as quick as he can.
There's a Radiant Sentry doesn't want to be walking into, but no more dust on Monkey King means he's not gonna get scouted out immediately by that by any means.
Towards the mid FM, into the Ancients, and halfway almost towards that Blink Dagger. And of course going to be the key pickup really to reacting to LFY grouping up as they have done on the top lane and going for these pushes. White, he's found Ghostic fairly low. That's a level 2 Shuriken. In fact, he certainly can go for this here. Has he got quite enough damage? No, the range shots was on the axe. So White throws that out. Maybe didn't quite check for that, but at least knocks him down a charge. But Ghostic will be the happier one walking away alive thanks to the good old raindrops.
Push him out of farming the lane or the jungle, but I think ultimately Empire don't mind because they've got farm elsewhere. FN just farming up that double stack of the Ancients is sitting on 600 gold, but the gank coming bottom.
Oh yeah, straight in onto Chappie. Any sort of reaction coming from Empire? Not a chance. Super. Straight up with the Laguna, blowing up the PA.
That's a quick and easy kill. Nice rotation there. I think, again, recognizing weaknesses in the safe lane. Often you see teams around this kind of 6 to 10 minute mark abandon the safe lane carry, just leaving him there alone to farm. And it's up to that carry to stay there as long as possible until the lane no longer becomes safe. And Chappie perhaps misjudging that one a little bit. Overstayed his welcome, and the punish came from LFY. No tracks just yet, but there will be jewels as well. So something you could be wary of, not just track money going your opponent's way, but jewel damage, something that can add up as well.
Top lane. Got a couple of them on the side of Empire eyeing up Monet. The Poshka coming across. I mean, maybe if they can get some sort of a stun into a call, they can try for it, but it is risky underneath this tier 1.
These two heroes do not have the damage for this, I feel.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, especially with
They
the Omni
need
Slash that they've available, they could certainly turn it around LFY. It's hard.
He's got 1,000 HP and, yeah, 1 Blade Fury, Healing Ward, a lot of good defensive tools, so.
Bottom.
Oh, Chappie, very close to getting the solo kill.
GGing with the Jukes, keeping himself high and alive. Mid lane, FN putting a bit of pressure onto the tower. Very close to that Blink Dagger now. Just 100 gold. And then with that, do you think we'll imagine we can expect to see Empire start to group up and look for fights? Or is it just going to be a case of just being prepared for when LFY look to make something happen and reacting to them?
Yeah, they'll definitely be keen on using some of these ultimates. Even just using a RP for a solo kill on like a Lina or a Legion, like any core you can kill with a solo RP is worth it at this point. You just want to find ways to use these ultimates. I mean, it's all great to have these big teamfight ultimates like RP, Chaotic Offering, but if you're not using them, you're not going to be able to match up to LFY and their farm rate. If you're letting them control the tempo, get track kills, you're not going to be in a good spot. And be kind of going on the aggressive. And they're going to have double blinks too. Axe is 1600, so his blink isn't going to be far off. They've already smoked up as well. RP, Chaotic Offering, both ultimates ready to go. They want to try and find something up top. But LPC, yeah, stun trying to TP out. Just a Rubik though, that's kind of like the sacrificial support. Like, there's a dangerous lane to farm in. You send a support there who just wants level 6. So this is like a great time of the game to send Rubik top to try to get his level 6. And if he dies like a gank like that, you kind of just say, oh well, it's just a Rubik.
The big fight's mid. And if FN can hit a good RP here, which he's only going to get the one of them there, going for the skewer first. There's 3 members of LFI ready to fight, but now there's only 2. Super's out and down. Can Empire chase down anything else? That's the question. Now look for the stun and the follow-up golem being dropped down onto Monet. He's trying to run his way out of this one. And he's certainly making them work for it. Healing ward's out. It's not going to be enough to keep him alive as Empire will take down both cores of LFY. And with the golem up ready to go, they can push down this middle lane. And that's a big... It wasn't much of a team fight really from LFY's side, but the fact that they lost both of their cores, they're huge news for Empire.
Yeah, that's how you want to use those ultimates. Yeah, you get 2 kills, but it's 2 key kills at that.
Yeah.
The mid as well as the safe lane farmer. Does mean you have to now play kind of fairly cautiously while you wait for the RP, the Chaotic Offering to come back online, but that's where you kind of go back into that more defensive farming, play around your vision, play around your wards, and try and predict some of LFY's next movements. But LFY are grouped up, ready to go for a smoke around mid lane. It's going to be a 3-man smoke. They want to go and make some plays themselves, but decent Radiant vision. Like, you look at where the Radiant wards are at top lane, around the shrine, around the bottom jungle. They see a lot of the map right now. So anytime, like, LFY are grouped as 5, it should be fairly obvious because you don't see heroes farming. At this point, you're kind of questioning if you're Empire, why is no one farming in those areas of the map where we have wards?
I think they're very... They seem like they're ready for this. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, maybe not ready for this much for a wraparound.
Yeah, the angle of initiation. Now they are.
Okay, now they see it all. They'll throw the stun down. Monkey King will jump out with a Primal Spring. In comes the Magnus. Skewers back super, but immediately the stun comes out in return. Miposhka gets the ult out. He's got to survive and stay on the edge. He'll be able to do so. LFY being forced back. Chappie will take Rubik. So very nicely played there from Empire, minimalizing casualties. Again, just the use of this Monkey ult to zone LFY out, forced them to get away from the fight that LFY were looking for.
Yeah, and even before that, scouting them all with that tree dance, going on top of them, finding out where the entire team was. He immediately jumps out as well, so he doesn't get caught by LFY. That's the time where if Empire get caught out and get jumped on and initiate on, they're going to lose probably 2 or 3 heroes, and it's going to be track kills. It's the perfect time to go for that kind of smoke-aggressive play from LFY. You've got this lineup that's ready to fight, find some pickoffs, start getting some track gold. You know you're not fighting into RP, you're not fighting into the rock, but the vision given by the Monkey King just proving to be a bit too much, and they even found that little pickoff on the way out as well. So really nicely done. And now with RP back up,
they want to fight. Yeah, ult's available.
They've got Rock in 20, so this is more or less having both ultimates. If the fight goes long enough, Warlock will just sit at the back, throw some spells, some heals, some upheavals, and then have Rock in 10 seconds time now.
Well, that White is going to dispel it, yeah. They'll drop a sentry, but White keeping himself out of range. The dust will get him, though. Chappie's on him straight away with the first crit and the jump forward and the dunk down from Ghost Stick. Empire take 1. Can they find anything else? Doesn't look like they will be able to, as LPC backs away and the rest of LFY are not sticking around for this tier 1 defense. As Empire will get away with it. And guys, we've got to talk about, again, this... Oh, well, hold that for LPC.
Do they? I mean,
Are they going to go for this? Nah, I think they're a little scared of what could be waiting around the corner. They'll look to stick towards the 2-1. But yeah, God, Chinese teams, Chinese jug players, they're doing it. FaZe Shadowblade. I remember seeing it. Was it with you I was casting the Chinese qualifiers?
Yep.
We saw it, and it lost the game.
Yep.
But some players, they do it, gods. And why this game? Why is the safe lane jug going for the Shadowblade? What is it that Monet loves about that?
He's looking at this game like we can't win it. Like, we don't have the team fight. Like, their lineup team fight does not match up against Warlock, Magnus, even the Axe with a Blink Call initiation. Monkey King has incredible teamfight with his ultimate. LFY's teamfight is lackluster. And the idea with the Shadow Blade is that there's no item or way we can really have a full-on straight-up 5v5, so we've got to find pickoffs. We've got to find ways to kind of initiate in, and that's where the Shadow Blade is giving like a nice little pick-off opportunity, a way to get to heroes in the backlines like the Warlock. If you can find the Warlock by Shadow Blading in, you can either force a bad rock or even kill him before he rocks using the Omni Slash. Same with finding someone like the Magnus. So it just helps you bypass the heroes you don't want to initiate on. Heroes in the front lines like the PA or the Axe. You want to get to the big teamfight hero.
Isn't it a little bit risky when you're doing it when your team has a bounty? So the enemy is almost certainly going to be prepared with vision to counter you.
It's very risky. There's definitely a lot of downsides to the items. You're just trying to play around the item's strengths. The Silver Edge upgrade is pretty nice as well as far as being a stat item and the damage mitigation, and also breaking the PA.
Yeah,
so
the PA.
You're looking at where the item can transition to. So ultimately, having a Silver Edge will be very useful at fighting into the PA blur the more this game goes on. And yeah, again, the item, good stats. It's attack speed, it's damage. Later on, it gives you strength, agi, and it gives you everything you kind of need as a jug. It's just not really looked at as good a teamfight item as the alternative, the Manta, the Yasha, the Diffusal, the Blink Dagger, and all that.
Well, farm-wise at the moment, very, very close between himself and the PA. 7k on both. The lead at the moment being taken by FN on his Magnus, and understandable as well with the Empower. He's just been clearing camps, keeping himself ahead, and Empire now ready to fight once again. Ults are available.
Maybe tanked by the bounty once again.
Yeah, there's going to be dust on, smoke on smoke here. LFY on the high ground. The Chappies will be dispelled, so LFY, they know what's up. Empire as well. They're not going to head up there.
Take out the Radiant Sentry, but immediately go back. I think both teams will just use this to disengage. You run into a smoke in your LFY, you're like, wait, let's not chase into that because we could just be diving into the big ultimates. You want to smoke up and try and find isolated heroes, like Magnus farming alone at top right now, but you've kind of already maybe given up a bit too much once you had your smoke reveal. He's got up bounty at mid, so they get kind of the intel they need as to his location, and I think Empire are going to be feeling pretty good right now. They've kind of hit their blink timings. They're going to have a Deso soon on Chappie. Magnus farming incredibly well. And that's definitely a good hero to have as far as initiation goes. Huge, not just teamfight, but it's initiation where finding pickoffs and catching out heroes is way easier for Empire's draft. They've got two great heroes in both Axe as well as Magnus. Magnus with two skills to do it in both Skewer as well as RP. So for LFY, their catches
pretty much the Legion, I guess, just getting in on the front lines. And, well, they've got the dust onto White, and easy kill for Empire. As soon as they get vision on that bounty, there's not a lot of hope for him when Chappie's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, sentries just littered around the Radiant jungle. They are very persistent in wanting to kill him. Has come at the cost of Warlock's itemization. He's not really anywhere near his Midas, but that's what you got to do against bounty sometimes to deny that vision game, and it's definitely been worth it so far. You've stopped them getting the kills. You've stopped them finding those track opportunities. It's still a very volatile game. All it's going to take is like one good fight for LFY, and they're going to suddenly steam ahead like 3 or 4k gold because of track money. But so far, Empire have done a really good job denying it, and they found another kill bottom.
Once again, Monkey King in there. Poor old bounty. I mean,
TP'd in bottom. Upon respawning, he TP'd bottom, and Monkey King was like on the tree and I think saw the TP in, so he knew he was just running downwards. Dust, easy kill. That was brutal.
And of course, as we saw in the draft, bounty was picked after the Monkey King. So, as I said, maybe LFY choosing it as a way to kind of deal with the vision game and having the trap. But we're seeing at the moment, the top kind of card goes to the power of the Monkey King because of just the killing potential once the vision's there. I mean, that's not really going to happen the other way around. Your bounty sees a Monkey King, he's not going to be able to take him down in a couple of hits.
He's going to track and run the hell away. But I know there's been like doubts around like how good the Monkey is after all the nerfs. I think regardless, what we have to look at with this hero is regardless of how many times he gets nerfed, just the vision thing. Like it's like having a Riki. Like Ricky's spells are all pretty damn weak outside. He has one good spell, and I would say, which is the Cloud. Other than the Cloud, like all his spells are pretty lousy, but it's the vision factor. It's the fact he's invis all over the map. I mean, his third spell is good. It's like just for the 1 point, so that you're invis, you're seeing everything. That's what Monkey King is. 1 point in Tree Dance, and you're bouncing around the entire map, getting full vision for your team. And vision is one of like the most important aspects of competitive Dota. It allows you to pick and choose good fights. It allows you to get the jump on your opponents before they jump you. If you start the fight with a Blink Call or a Blink RP, chances are you're going to be in a better off position than your opponents if you got the initiation and they did.
Looking towards the mid lane, LPC in the neighborhood. Empire, of course, would love to have a go at Roshan. They can take it down very quickly with the Deso complete on Chappie. Empire as well. They've also got strong team fight around the pit. Arguably as well, a lot stronger than LFY's kind of team fight around in close situations.
It's so hard for White to move around the map now. He's died a few times in quick succession. He's scared of moving anywhere. He walks under another Sentry Observer. They know where he is again. It is very tough for the poor Bounty. And another Sentry goes down.
He's hunting him. Posh is really enjoying hunting down White consistently.
It's going to be mostly his main goal this game. I mean, finding a pick-off here or there on like the mid laner once, and all that was nice. But we actually see a different build from Super. Didn't rush the Bloodstone. Interesting to note for the laner. Yeah. Is going back for it after the Yule Scepter, but went for the Yules first. And I think a big part of this is that lack of initiation, where we talk about it's just the Legion Commander duel. They want to have another means, which is going to help against the Magnus, help against like a PA pre-BKB, help against an Axe. If you can use the Axe when he blinks in before he calls, or even after he calls, it stops all that call damage from happening. It can be a great way to approach a fight.
Okay, now LFY, they're smoked up. Did have that ward there, so would have seen Miposhka jump across the mid lane. But again, they seeming to just struggle with the angle that they're confident in taking these fights. They'll head down to go through the bottom of the jungle of Empire. The smoke's wearing off.
They want to fight soon. Double BKB is almost complete for Empire, so it does feel like
Empire seem prepared for this one. Ghost is going to get the opening. Jumps in immediately onto the Legion. Both out with the Blade Mail. LFY is there with the backup. Do they want to go for it? They get the Light Strike and the Lagoon onto the PA. That's PA down. LFY, can they get any further kills? Empire already backing away. Coming in from the north is the Monkey King, but they've got the track out onto him. LFY seeing if they can do something about Miposhka, and they've got the Yule set up here, allowing them to try it, but they actually missed the Light Strike combo. And Miposhka, it looks like he will still go down there with the Blade Fury and the nuke from Legion to finish him off. A little sloppy there with the Yule's Light Strike, but they still get it nonetheless. And LFY get away with that, and Empire not quite prepared. I mean, we're certainly seeing one of the weaknesses of the PA here. Again, it's just the massive amounts of single target that LFY can do in a quick instant.
Yeah, and that's why this last kind of 3 to 5 minutes of the game has been a very passive farming stage for Empire. They recognize we need BKBs. Once we have BKBs, we're incredibly powerful. Before that, not so much. But even with, we could still theoretically see similar kills happen. If you get a Blink Jewel onto the PA, with a Blade Mail on Legion Commander, PA is going to melt, not to mention the Omni Slash that can go on top of that Jewel.
For sure, especially if you get the break hit onto.
Yeah. So there's more than enough damage to bring down the PA even with a BKB, but they've got to be able to use those ultimates. Like, Magnus was theoretically there for an RP, just didn't really feel confident going for it maybe. Ooh, nice scouting from Bounty. Gives him the vision, but then he walks into the
sentries dropped. Empire, I knew someone was snooping. They'll take the Bounty. Legion did come through as well, and they're going to drop the Golem for this one as they move forward, looking for more. Chappie will take the break hit. A little scared as he does back away. Now we'll continue to chase down after the break wears off. You've got the control here from FN onto the Lina. They'll take out Super, and they're not done yet. Chappie continuing to chase down Monet. They have the Shrine to hang around LFY. Have they got the damage to work through the hill? It looks like they have. No, the Jewel holds back the PA, but in comes Ghostic with the call. The Monkey King ult is down. Monet falling low will be taken down as free fall on the side of LFY. They're coming back into it. Can they turn? No, it looks like just the empowered damage from Empire's cause is too much. As Bounty's out as well, they'll turn back towards Super. He may have the low respawn, but at the end of the day, that just means he dies twice in the team fight, essentially. Triple kill for the Monkey King. And Empire there with an incredibly convincing team fight around the enemy shrine as well at that.
Yeah, that's the power of the chase right now with this PA. Once you're in the back foot, things are not going to look good. You lose 1 or 2 heroes, you're at a moment of weakness. Empire will chase you down, look for those additional pickoffs. Monkey King just blinking over trees to chase you down PA. Same thing with the Dagger Slow, and there was no getting out. They want to try and punish now with RP and Chaotic Offering on cooldown. They've TP'd to the shrine. LPC is trying to cut them off, but looks like he's going to be a little bit too slow to get there in time and won't be able to punish.
Yeah, Empire back to safety. And indeed not losing too much there for their efforts. Successful at that as well. Monet queuing up for the Manta Star next, but still got quite a way to go before he's able to get his hands on it. Blink is now complete though for LPC. So they will have that extra bit of catch, and something that we know that they are certainly losing. But just look at this damage. I mean, empowered PA with the Dessa, it's ridiculous. They try and control him with that Jewel. He does finally go down, but already just so much damage has been done in return.
Yeah, he won the duel at least, but don't think it was exactly the fight outcome they were hoping for. Jug making the right call to go for that Blade Fury, because he got called by the axe. If he wasn't Blade Furying, if he was right-clicking the PA, he would not have been able to find that kill.
Into the pit they go. They do have RP back, so LFY have to be careful. It's going to be immediately jump in and a duel. FN looking for the perfect RP potential. He's not even going to need it to take down one, as they've managed to bring down the Legion. Empire looking to fight for more, gets the call there, bringing the Jug beautifully away from the rest of the team, but Monet does look to run back up. They've still got the RP, Shockwave, holds back FN from a blink initiation potential. As LFY will back up, but again, they lose two. They do force Empire out of the pit, but immediately they rush over to the shrine, heal back up. Empire know they definitely have the potential to get themselves back in, stuck into the pit, and there's minimal that LFY can do to stop it.
Omnislash did nothing whatsoever, and they've got ultis back up. They managed to secure Roche, win a small little fight, at least find a pick off. Also, well, they haven't secured Roche yet, but they're going to go back in. But they win a small little fight, and then they go back for Roche without having to use their ultimates. So they're going to get themselves an Aegis and be able to go and push down the lane if they want to, using this Aegis on PA so that Chappie doesn't just get bursted down at the start of a fight from a duel into like Laguna Blade. And defending is going to be very difficult for LFY with an Aegis PA.
Empire certainly looking to have a the stronger opening for sure. We saw it was kind of slow really for both roamers, the Monkey King and the Bounty, but there was just that period where Monkey King started to get ahead. FN's farm's been pretty phenomenal on the Magnus, as expected with a Magnus. You know, just as we saw with the build, you know, you didn't get the RP to level 8, prioritizing, maxing out that Empower, clearing camps and Chappie. All the space in the world on that bottom lane, and now, as we can see, both of them top of the board. Super does have the Bloodstone.
That'll help a bit defending. You can
he'll get back sooner, for a second
2 or 3
chance.
lives.
What can they do here? Empire ready to threaten and diving straight in. The crits are there. Whites out. There's your RP from FN. Grabs 2, skewers them back. Rubik taken down. It's a double kill for Chappie, and Chappie's not done yet. Jumping in. The duel comes through, trying to control him, and they will win it. They'll bring him down once. The Aegis is gone, but the rock is dropped straight onto the head of Monet. As the Jug's out, Ghostic just getting himself out of range of the Dragon Slave. He will survive, but Empire again bringing LFY down to their feet. There's no buybacks on the Jug, or the Rubik for that matter. So these top racks at least should almost certainly go down. Xixing trying his best. FN looking to try and get a bit of a catch there with a blink skewer.
I mean, Super's insta respawn, but he can't do anything to fight. He's almost just going to instantly melt. He does.
Oh my goodness. Empire, the manpower they have at this stage.
This is CIS Dota right here.
It really is. Just a PA empowered up. Jumps on any of these heroes and they're gone.
Nice bit of discipline at the end where they just get out after the racks. They don't lurk around looking for kills, not wanting to give up any kind of a track kill on the retreat.
We've got one, a Basher complete now as well on its way out. Medallions there as well on the Warlock, just to help the single target. And also just to keep Chappie alive. And you know, that is kind of one thing that you could say that Empire's lacking, but having the Deso on the PA and having that medallion to put on allows Chappie to be this sort of frontliner and just hit the towers. And as we saw there, Empire have all the capabilities to kill LFY before having to worry about a high ground push.
Warlock even, I think he had a Gloves of Haste, which he sold. He was like, I'm going Midas, guys.
He did have a Gloves earlier. Yeah, he's got rid of it, hasn't he?
He's got rid of it. He's like, all right, Midas Stream is dead, but we're winning fights. What can I buy now? We're looking to end this game now. Yeah. He gets the full Solar
Crest. Solar Crest, sorry, yeah.
So he can use that offensively on heroes that PA is trying to focus, or even just use on the PA when she gets jeweled to stop some of the incoming damage. Although it's defensively, it's not amazing. It's because of so much of the damage is coming from the Blade Mail during that duel. Will help a bit against the Omnislash damage is probably the bigger thing. But straight down bottom lane, Empire looking to go. Even without an Aegis, they feel like they're strong enough to continue fighting, and I think within good reason. Once ultimates are back up, which is still out of 50-second window on the Warlock, they can easily force another high ground play. Bounty is nowhere near any sort of an item. His dreams of a mech or any follow-up to his Arcane Boots is just completely dead at this point, unless LFY can put together a miraculous team fight.
Then he's something. I mean, look at this positioning from Miposhka. Standard Monkey King thing, just hanging behind the tier 3. They will get the duel immediately onto Chappie. Can they bring him down in time? But the RP on the backlines, FN drags them forward, but they have lost Chappie. FN takes down the Lina, now turning towards the Legion for more and will find it. Has the damage with the Empower, but there'll be a buyback immediately from Legion Commander. LFY looking to chase down, see if they can find anything. They have the track on the Monkey King, but he's primal springing away. I mean, just look at the distance he can create. There's no way they can close that gap. Miposhka's out. But Empire do lose 2. LFY will hold the bottom lane. Did cost them the buyback on the Legion, though.
Yeah, perhaps a buyback they didn't need to use, but big thing there is Empire just rushed things. They didn't have Rock. It was still on cooldown for 10 more seconds, and they got Monkey King in a great position. I think the vision advantage perhaps led them astray a bit, where they're like, all right, we got this deep observer ward down. We had Monkey King sprung on the trees. He can get a good ultimate off from there without putting himself in danger. Let's just go for this. But realistically, waiting another 10 seconds to have Chaotic Offering would have made all the world of difference there. Just having a good counter initiation to help the PA out may have saved her life. And the PA is still looking like not squishy hero, but any hero that gets caught in a duel plus Silver Edge Omni Slash is going to go down, and that's exactly what's happened the last couple of fights.
Mid lane Bounty just trying to be as useful as he can, get those tracks out, making that harder for Empire to catch him with guard, but they could kind of use it against the Bounty as the rest of Empire smoke up behind FN. So LFY could be lulled into a false sense of confidence, and indeed they're going to smoke up, so Empire going for the debated play.
There's no RP, but there is a Rock.
There's the jump in immediately once again with the duel. The stun from Monkey King holds him back, and there comes the Rock onto 2. They'll turn towards the Legion. Jixing does actually end up winning the duel, but goes down, and he's out without no buyback available. They attempt for the skewer back, but the Blade Fury there from Mono saving him, allowing him to get himself away. So 1-for-1.
They're killing this PA.
I mean, they are. The PA is dying, and that's absolutely huge for LFY considering the lead that Chappie had in net worth. So not the biggest skill they could get, but FN still is the one that the real money's on, but definitely the second biggest, taking down Chappie.
Feels like PA should have considered a Lincoln Sphere this game, just with how often he's getting dueled. Does more than enough damage. I mean, he's got Deso, which is fine. Like, the Deso and Power is plenty of damage, and I guess it's like you go Lincolns over the Basher. They've already got a lot of control with the 2 teamfight ultimates. There's a Basher on the Monkey King. I feel like the Lincolns, staying alive is a bigger thing than getting additional lockdown from a Basher. I mean, very easy to say now because he's died like 2 or 3 times to a duel. So in hindsight, I think without a doubt, Lincoln's was the right item, but at the time when he made the call, it was probably a lot less clear. But definitely an item that you see a lot of carries go when they normally wouldn't because they're versing a Legion commander. And it's kind of like the same thing with an Axe Blink call with Blade Mail, where you just kill yourself on the Blade Mail. That's what's happening over and over again. I mean, it's not entirely that. There was a Laguna Blade, and like there's been Omni Slashes in some of these fights, but what has happened is LFY have kept themselves in this game. It is not over just yet with just 1 lane of racks down. Jug starting to get more and more farm, has the Manta to go with the Silver Edge. Level 20 as well, so there's still some time and room to grow for LFY. The big thing is, can they defend against another PA Aegis? Because that was the tipping point when they lost racks, was that PA had an Aegis.
Yeah, absolutely, because pretty much as we're seeing, the only way that they can kill her is the Legion throwing her life in with a duel.
Yep.
And she's not going to be able to do that twice in a row. That's for sure. And Chappie, yeah, as you mentioned, on top of the Basher closing in on that completed Abyssal Blade. Empire grouped up. They do have RP available. Golem still not quite there for 40 seconds. And they've got a smoke. I may try and go for something anyway, even without the Rock Golem. If they can hit good Berserkers, calls, good reverse polarities, they can certainly still win fights with the damage that the Chappie can get out.
Yeah, Chappie looking better and better as time goes on with an age will be even more farm, but do feel like he's running around with this Basher and Vitality Booster in his backpack. Not a big fan of that decision. Do feel like he should either be getting value out of this Basher
instead of the TP holding it, or
yeah, I mean, if you get ganked, I guess you want to be able to insta TP away maybe, but do feel like the PA's backpack usage not really optimal right now. Even just having a Vitality Booster is health that may save your life against that dual Laguna Blade, so it does feel a little bit odd. But perhaps waiting for that. I mean, it's not really a surprise factor because your opponents can see what items are in your backpack, but there we go. He sells the wand, and theoretically, yeah, there we go. Complete Abyssal Blade, we'll put that in now. But those last few fights, he had a Vitality Booster in his backpack, and I think even the Basher was in his backpack, so.
Would you see as well, Super has the Agnums complete, so that extra bit of burst to help deal with the BKB PA.
That's a big deal. You get there's 2 good BKB piercing ultimates in the Jug and the Legion, and the Laguna Blade of Lina to do damage, and then the Legion can BKB pierce. Doesn't do damage necessarily by itself, but can set up the Omni Slash, can set up the Laguna Blade. So they've got very good ways of fighting against Chappie here. So very much, I feel like a necessity for him to have the Aegis in these upcoming team fights.
I mean, I guess the question is, can LFY stop Empire getting Roshan?
It's challenging because of spells like RP, Chaos Offering, the Wukong command around the Roche pit, very difficult to fight into. So they may just decide, hey, yeah, Aegis is a problem, but we're still going to be at our strongest defending high ground into an Aegis rather than trying to go out. Radiant Vision is very strong right now. There's wards all over the map. There's the Monkey King to scout as well. Anytime Bounty's making moves aggressive, he's just getting picked off. Magnus has a gem, so Bounty can't really move, can't really go scout for his team. He has to just stick around and move as 5. So it feels like the vision advantage may mean that Empire can secure themselves a free Roche, but we'll see what LFY do. They can theoretically just go for a smoke and hope for the best.
Yeah, let's see what they can find there as well. Both teams coming towards the middle lane. And we'll see who gets the jump. Monet, Silver Age up, actually reveals himself here. An immediate jump in from Chappie with the Abyssal Blade and Ghosted comes through. The jewels there, but there's the RP and the Golem being dropped down. 2-3, the damage is too much here. They do get out a stolen RP, but it doesn't matter because LFY just call it, handed it. GG's there. Empire taking game 1. And that fight just like that, I mean that Jug, he came out, he wanted that creep, but at the end of the day, Empire, they wanted the lives of LFY, and they're incredibly quick off the mark with that initiation. Champion, followed through by the Axe, then the Magnus, and then, of course, the Rock Golem comes down upon their head from the Warlock. Empire looking pretty hot here in game 1. I mean, Magnus PA, we know it's scary, and it certainly showed in that match.
Absolutely. Very well-played Magnus. FM played a flawless Magnus, at least in, like, he didn't make any mistakes. He played very greedy, but I think the game merited that. The PA was constantly being controlled and locked down, so even if the game continued to go late, he was going to be level 25, the most farmed player in the game for a long time. And I feel like Empire as a team had a very good strategy where they had the teamfight advantage. They were able to just control the map very well. They had such good vision provided from the Monkey King and had great deep wards. White couldn't achieve with them. It really came down to White versus Miposhka, who could do better on their 4-position heroes.
For sure.
And this game, it was the Monkey King who got the edge.
Absolutely. And we'll see if in, of course, game 2, maybe the Monkey King's going to get banned out. We know that teams in China respect it, and maybe it was the LFY didn't respect what a CIS side could do with it, but we saw there in game 1, Miposhka very, very confident on the hero. Great lineup from Empire and a convincing matchup. But we'll see if things swing around in game 2. Don't go anywhere, as we'll head back to the panel to hear what Paul and the boys have to say.
Thanks very much, Owen. Yes, congratulations to Team Empire. They haven't just turned up and played here. They've turned up and they've won their opening match. Congratulations to them. We do have a little bit of a change on the panel as well. Mr. Action Slacks? Oh, no, Sir Action Slacks. That's right, yes. Knighted.
Hello, yes, Knighted.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
Sea
True
land.
story, bro.
It's true.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. What a great
you're
game.
here. You're here for other reasons. I'm gonna ask Kevin first because he watched that match, but I'm gonna come to you in a moment because you have some information on possibly the game of the year that you just watched. So we'll talk about this particular game, Kevin, and then we'll let Sir Action Slacks wax lyrical about the game that he's just watched. In terms of a win, this is a really good win for Empire.
Yeah, I think so. The early game seemed a little bit not very impactful from LFY. The Bounty Hunter got a couple things done, but nothing serious, and then it just kind of became hunt the Bounty Hunter, make sure he doesn't do anything, and let PA and Magnus farm a stupid amount of creeps, which is exactly what they did. So they're, for most of the game, top net worth. The Magnus was, in fact. And the Jugs build of that fast Shadow Blade into Silver Edge doesn't let him accelerate farm like a Manta style would, so it's kind of weird. They kind of just won the skirmishes they did, and they never really got a ton of track gold. And Empire just kind of kept winning fights and farming more and more and more. So, I don't know. It was kind of a straightforward game, really. Just PA and power, man. It's good stuff.
Did you feel like LFY were very underwhelming, though?
I would say they were underwhelming, yeah. I just felt like they were very passive. I felt like they didn't move around, get kills. It was kind of like they all just went to their lanes and kind of did their thing, but they didn't ever, like, group the Lina with the Legion, smoke somewhere, go blow somebody up. It just felt very reactionary, but Empire, they took fights sometimes, but they never actually moved across the map together to get ganks off.
Very un-Chinese-like, I have to say. We've got used to the Chinese Dota that we've seen today. For instance, earlier on today, IG Vitality, they pick a very straightforward meta kind of set of heroes, and then they just play very standard through the entire game. But everything they do is very crisp, very simple, very straightforward, but well executed. This is almost completely the opposite way around. Do you think LFY were thrown by Empire's kind of in-your-face style?
I don't really think so, because I mean, all the heroes they picked, they weren't weird. They're all standard picks.
Yeah.
The only thing that was weird maybe was PA, but it's obviously the Magnus combo thing. And maybe the way that they played the Monkey was very much so an anti-bounty thing, and the bounty never really got online. I don't know, it didn't really feel weird from Empire. It's just they sat back and farmed for a long time, and LFY probably didn't want to fight because they had better team fight on the enemy team, so nothing happened. Except for a couple duels. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just felt ineffective, weak play. I don't know. It felt pub-like.
Good win
maybe.
for Empire, though.
Yeah.
So, actually, Slax, you have been watching potentially the game of the year.
Yeah. Peter wanted to come back on the panel.
Yeah.
I actually punched him in the gut in the hallway and took his spot. Okay? I don't care about that game. You, Purge, can I tell you something? Do you
Nope.
want to grow a mustache right now? Do you want me to pump some testosterone in you, boy?
I really don't.
Yeah, you do, baby.
Not into that.
All right, let me tell you about this game that just happened on the other stream, okay? Newbie versus Liquid. This game, Purge, was a 75-minute stomp fest of brutality. I think these two teams hate each other, okay? Fully farmed Elk, fully farmed Jug, going at each other. It was absolutely insane. Do you know what the Ags Scepter does for Storm Spirit?
No.
Ravage.
Ravage, is
It's
it?
a Ravage,
Is
baby.
Is it really?
It's a AoE Vortex.
Oh, you're going to tell me they got like all 5 in
I'm
one or
telling you,
something.
they got all 5.
No!
I'm telling you, it came down to a 75-minute, 5-man Storm Spirit grab into a Sand King epicenter, into all of it, Purgy, baby.
What?
It'll blow your damn mind, son. You gotta watch that.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, it was good.
I'm sold.
It was good, and that's only game 1. So second stream, I know you guys got a lot of good stuff happening here on stream 1, but second stream's pretty good too. Okay?
Yeah.
It's all good.
So
too
we
much?
didn't,
Yeah,
we didn't bring you over here to shill stream 2.
I'm
You're
not
supposed to.
shilling stream 2. I'm just saying good
Who put you up to
games
this?
are happening on both streams. For PGA.
I'm with Kevin. It feels a bit chilly.
It was a bit chilly. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not saying anything bad about these teams.
Yeah.
These are great teams, but
Yeah.
probably the game of the group stage. Sorry to say that.
There's a lot of games to go, though.
Okay. Yeah. So for the 4 viewers that we still have left on this channel, well, we are going to get into game 2 very shortly. But of course, you can watch the other stream, which has Newbie versus Liquid on it right now, which comes Sir Action Slacks approved.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Wait, so who won?
Okay.
I don't remember. It was just
Okay.
good. No,
The one with the Storm Spirit.
Newbie won, bro. I think. Yes, it was Newbie, and it was.
It was
sweet.
that good. He's had to just double check who won. We do have some social media questions coming in as well. So why don't we take one or two now?
Oh, yeah.
In fact, we've got one up. Why is Magnus being picked so much? Sir Action Slacks.
Magnus is